Hi guys, it's Angel from AngelSkyeTV. Today's your weekly medicine tarot reading for the week of August 20th. I'm filming one day late this week. I'm actually filming on the 21st, which is a solar eclipse that's in Leo right now. So today is the solar eclipse, and it's past where I'm at, so that was around 5 o'clock, I think, was the peak. 3:54 was the peak time of the eclipse, partial eclipse where I am. And you know, I did a lot of chanting and meditation, yoga all day, which I feel amazing right now. Like, I feel so good, because the reason I'm filming a day late is just I felt like absolute crap this entire week. Like, I felt so sore. So if any of you out there had experienced that, I'd like to hear your comments. Like, I felt like I got hit by a Mack truck. Like, when I woke up this morning, I couldn't even raise my arms up, like, to here. It was like so painful. And I didn't do anything to cause that pain. It was just all week. Now, we did have like some kind of a random hurricane on Friday, so I was like, well, maybe it's the hurricane, maybe it's a combination. But as soon as the eclipse started, the pain went away. And when I started working with crystals, because we did a massive crystal grid during the eclipse, as soon as I started working with the crystals and the stones, like, it completely went away. All the body pain, all the emotions, all the, like, everything that was like just swimming around with me just dissipated. It was awesome. And I worked with moldavite today. I'm still wearing it right now. And I meditated with large chunks of moldavite with my family. We each had a piece. It was a very powerful day. Anyways, I hope that you maximized your solar eclipse day. It is an auspicious day. It's a day for new beginnings, endings of all kinds, particularly endings, you know, that you might not be participating in voluntarily. Like, things will just end whether you like it or not. But that always means a new beginning and a new start. So that's a good thing. What else about this solar eclipse? It's a pretty interesting time, like, just to think that the solar eclipse is actually in 28 degrees Leo or 29 degrees Leo, and it's here in North America, particularly being seen mostly in the US. And President Trump, actually, his rising sign is 29 degrees Leo. So there's some significant, like, interesting connections there that people, I think, that make people that aren't really into astrology pay attention. And this is why I love astrology. Like, it's crazy how much the planets can predict your walk on Earth. Like, it's really fascinates me and blows my mind, particularly medical astrology. It, you know, where your planets lie actually can predict your health and things like that. I mean, it's just, it blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind every time. Like, astrology continues to blow my mind. And solar eclipses are very, very interesting. I didn't know a lot of things about them until I did a little bit of research. I learned about animals and how they kind of act a little bit strange right before the eclipse happens. And I witnessed it today, like right before the eclipse, or right when the eclipse started, like this purpley haze kind of fell over the atmosphere around my house. And the birds were quiet. It was like they were going to bed. Like, usually the birds, you know, are chirping away. The crows are going crazy around my house. Like, and everything was still and quiet. There wasn't a sound outside. It was really actually kind of creepy in a way. And the birds, you could hear them like a little bit chirping, but it was like that sound they make when they're going to go to bed. And my pets were acting really strange as well. Like, they were hiding, which neither one of them do that. So that was really weird. And that is something that I read about, that animals kind of like, they hide in the shade, they kind of meditate. Like, they don't go to sleep, but they meditate. like they're sort of swaying or whatever. Like I was like, oh yeah, sure. But actually when I heard the birds and how strange they acted, and after like the peak time of the solar eclipse, the birds were like acting really weird outside. Like they were flying really low and like falling out of the trees randomly. It was just really weird. Anyways, so let's get to the cards, I guess. But a really powerful day for me personally. I feel better, so I did want to film. Like, I don't know if it's going to be short-lived, because I know after the aftermath of the solar eclipse is what we do need to pay attention to, or the shadow of the eclipse. And my guides told me particularly September 4th was going to be a big day. September like 11, 12, 13. And then I read on a local astrologer, I think it was Holly Pool Astrology, like she said something about the 5th and around the 15th, I think, that other planets are lining up with this eclipse, and that's when, you know, you're going to have some, you know, maybe some challenges. So, but we'll get to that later during those weeks. But for now, we'll just tune into this week, see what this week has in store. It is a new moon today. So great time to start something new. And so this whole day I was like really focused on doing new things, like something different, like something just positive. Like I tried to create a day that was filled with, you know, positivity in a new direction. I wrote, I'm gonna, you know, later after this video, write a few like goals for the future and things like that. And this is a great day for that, because this is like basically a door opening kind of a day. Think of it as that, like there's a door opening, there's a blank slate. What do you want to, you know, what do you want to see? And that's what we're going to ask the guides today, is like, how can we focus our energy and attention for the week ahead? Rather than what's going to happen, we're going to ask, what are we going to focus our attention? What should we be focusing our attention, or what could we be focusing our attention on for this week ahead to help raise the vibration of the planet? I do want to stick with that theme, like how we can each contribute and how we each can help to raise the vibration of the planet right now at this pinnacle time in history. And I know you all feel it. I know you feel it in your body. I know you feel it in your heart. This is a pinnacle time in history. Like, we're here. Anybody that's tuned into this is obviously sort of on the path of helping, or on the path of making a change in the world in a positive direction. I don't tend to attract people that are just, I don't know, Donald Trumps. Sorry about that, guy. Anyways, so what I want you to do is just close your eyes. We're going to ask the guides, the angelic realm, the higher beings to come in and help guide our reading this week on this day of the solar eclipse, and help us to focus our attention and show us the path ahead that leads us to our highest good, not just for this week, but for the future, because this is a new day. This is the beginning of a new adventure or a new journey for all of us. So give us guidance on how we can proceed in the most positive way. All right. So I'm just waiting for the guides to tell me when to choose the cards for this week, the week of August 20th. All right. Okay. So, all right. So we have some interesting cards that have come up. The first thing that comes up is to protect the fruits of your labor. So anything that you have worked on up until this point that you might feel, you know, maybe you feel like, you know, what is the point? And some of the guides are saying there are some people there that are pretty low right now. And I was one of those people, so I totally feel you. And the reason I say was is just I spent the day in what I call sadhana, or the energy of knowledge. That's not the literal translation of sadhana. Sadhana is like a practice in yoga, meditation, asanas, pranayams, chanting, all of these things that can help raise your vibration. So prior to me doing that, I mean, I have been meditating every day. I'm still on my challenge and going strong that I started in June. So I've been doing daily meditation and yoga. but I was feeling really, really low and down in the dumps, and the guides are saying, you know, there's still a lot of you out there right now that are still like being kicked or having a feeling that you're kicked to the curb. So they're saying don't give up, you know, especially anything related to pursuing your career and what you love. It might seem helpless right now, it might seem like everything's blocked and, you know, nothing's coming to you, but they're saying just protect the fruits of your labor. There's going to be some challenges that are going to come up, but you know what? It's important not to give up right now, because that isn't going to help the world become a better place, and it's not going to help you become any happier. Okay? So the other thing they're saying is protect the environment. Like, make a stronger effort to protect the environment. And I know many of you that tune in, they're saying are quite, you know, up on your environmentalism, and that's wonderful, but there's always more we can all do. And they're saying that the earth is really, really in need of our help right now. And I know that this is nothing that you don't already hear in your heart and know in your soul. So they're saying don't forget that. Like, don't, even if it's just the littlest things, they're talking about some of you that have some soul contracts to help the environment and that you just don't feel like you're really doing your part, and that's getting you down. Now, I just want you to realize that every little bit matters, okay? Like, so even just picking up garbage around your house, just, you know, recycling, reusing things is helping the environment. Like, I know that you came here to massively help the environment, but for now, do any little thing you can and just know that you're doing a good job doing even that. Because there are people that, which blows my mind, but there are people that actually don't even do that. They throw garbage on the ground. I mean, this to me, like, since I was a kid, like, I never did that. Like, I'm just like, how do people do that? I watched and witnessed somebody do this, and it wasn't a kid. It was actually a grown man, and he's lucky my daughter was with me, because I would have lit into him. But he just threw, like, his chip bag in the freaking water and kept going, and I'm like, oh my God, how do people do this? So, and then I see, like, on garbage day, like, I try to really pay attention to my my ecological footprint, and you, like, only have one garbage bag. And some people, it's like, how do you have that much garbage in 2 weeks, you know? And there's, like, 2 of you living in the house. Anyways, I'm not judging other people's garbage, but, like, let's all work together to do a better job there. Middle of the week, you need to do a little bit more research when it comes to education, or like, if there's some of you watching, they're saying that are thinking about going back to school or doing something different. Just do some more research before you jump into anything or commit to anything. And I do know school's coming up really, really soon. So I don't know, there's some of you that are watching that there's just some fine print you're missing, or there's something you haven't considered, or maybe the guides are saying there's also some of you that are preventing or blocking yourself from going to school because you're getting too caught up in, like, the loan aspect, like the student loan aspect, and worrying about having to repay that sometime. So you're stopping yourself from pursuing your goals because of money, and you will pay for that if you actually don't go ahead with this schooling. So those of you that are watching that are using that as an excuse to not move forward, don't do that. Move forward, get the student loan, you will be able to pay it back. Everybody's in debt, and you know what? You are an investment. You're not depreciating, right? So you buy a car, you get a loan, you buy a car, your car depreciates. But you educate yourself, that doesn't depreciate. You actually, you know, you're worth the investment. Okay? So last but not least, it's talking about the ego and smashing it. So smashing the ego. There's an illusion that you feel trapped right now. So keep that in mind, please, during the next month. You might feel trapped, you might feel stuck, you might feel like you're banging your head off the wall. Know that you're not alone, because you're not. don't place too much emphasis on material things or what you don't have yet in your life in terms of material things. Like, just forget all that. None of that matters. And, you know, it's very, very easy right now to get caught up in fear and worry, okay? Look around you. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that we're being fear-mongered constantly. And when you throw in the energy of the planets and they start to make you feel weird, like this morning, I was literally vibrating in my bed. I could feel my, like, inner core, like every cell in my body was like, zzz, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what is going on? Like, what is wrong with me? And so many of you are quite sensitive. I know you're feeling similar things, maybe not exactly the same as I am, but you are feeling these things. So it is freaky. Like, I'm a very much a sensitive person, so normally these things don't freak me out, but this was a pretty powerful, again, Leo, dramatic, powerful solar eclipse. Don't underestimate the power of the universe, the planets. You know, we kind of like, oh, it's an eclipse, cool, let's put glasses on and let's watch it, but it shakes things up. This solar eclipse is shaking things up. So again, it's very easy to get caught up in fear and worry when everything around you is changing and moving, and, you know, everything's up in the air and things that normally come to you are stuck and everything like that. So do your best to find ways to manage the stress right now. There's so many ways to manage stress. There's really no excuse for you to be stressed. I mean, that might sound pretty bold to say that, but it's the truth. There are tons of tools out there to manage stress. Find one that you like and apply it constantly until you feel better. It's just that simple. And it's essential because, you know, fear and worry spread like fire. And what you can do to make the world a better place right now and to raise the vibration, because I know in your heart that's what you want to do. You want to help raise the vibration. Take care of your own energy. It's that simple. I've said this so many times before, and, you know, it seems like it's complicated. It seems so much easier to criticize, you know, your husband, or to criticize your neighbor, or to criticize your boss, or to criticize whoever, and hope that they'll change and whatever. But honestly, just take care of yourself. Do the best you can to make yourself feel awesome right now. Nurture yourself. Do everything you can to manage your stress, and everything you can to keep your worry in check and your fear in check. And especially worrying about the future, because that's normally where worry stems from, is from the future, worrying like what's going to happen. You know, focus your attention on what you want. Just what you want. Don't worry about if you have it now, just focus what you want. And you've heard this knowledge before. I'm not going to keep lecturing you. I just really want you to feel better. And, you know, it's your job to make yourself happy. I always say it's my job to help make people happier. And that's it. I can't make people happy. And I know that. But I think that right now, during this solar eclipse, a lot of us are struggling. And, you know, realize that in other people. People are acting crazy, you know, just let them off the hook just once. You know, maybe they're just like intensely in pain physically, like I was. Or maybe their just mind is like really like giving them a bunch of challenges, like they're really looking at themselves and analyzing themselves for the first time, and it's like, you know, it's very stressful. So just be kinder to one another. And I hope that helps you. I hope to see you here again next week. And I'm surviving the solar eclipse, and you know what? You can too. Take care.